Hey everyone, this is D from Q-Tip and the Short Guy. Before we get started on this episode, we just want you to head over to the Jubilee YouTube page and watch these videos right here, and it's going to also be in the top of the video right here. You can click up top, or you can look down in the description down below and click the link down below. It's really important that you watch these videos so that you know exactly what we're talking about. Specifically, we're mainly talking about the Republican one, but I feel like watching both of them is important, and it's just good. It's interesting videos. Jubilee videos are really great to watch. So if you don't watch them already, I highly recommend it. But anyway, watch the videos and then watch the rest of this video. Hope you guys enjoy.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another special episode of Q-Tip and the Short Guy. I'm the Kidd Dre.
And I'm D.
And today, we decided we're going to make a episode pre-election day. Today we have a special guest.
The special guest is my friend Matricial, so we are going to let her in the Zoom, and we're just going to get started.
We can't see it. There
you are. Hey.
Hello, hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. I'm Dre. I don't know why I almost went and said a whole different name. I'm Dre. Nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Matricial. Nice to meet you. Ooh. Okay. Guess my room door will be open.
All right. So, how we start? Let's start it like this. All right. So, D said he sent you the link about the video that we were watching that made us wanted to do this video, right? So basically, so there's just like a few things that I don't know about you if you like noted it or just like will remember as soon as we mention it. But like, there's a few things that I
When we watched
When
it,
we
we were
watched
like,
it.
what the heck are these people talking about? Specifically the one with Donald Trump,
yeah.
when they were talking about Donald Trump.
I feel like the Joe Biden one was more like they didn't want to vote for Trump. That's what it seems like. Joe Biden was I just don't want to be supporting Trump, so here I am with Biden, my only other option. But
Yeah, believe them. It is what it is, though. You know, a lot of people wanted Bernie, and they didn't give us Bernie.
which is true.
That's what I said.
Since you are our guest, I will ask you first. What was your opinion on that in its entirety? Like, how did you view that video?
Like the Trump one, the Biden one, or just both of them all together?
In general, both of them in general, yeah. Like, so how did you feel about the Trump one? What they were saying? Did it sound accurate for both of them?
As far as it goes, mostly what they were all saying were mostly opinions and how they feel about it. And I feel like you can't really debate someone's opinion because an opinion is an opinion. Your opinion is different from mine.
Exactly.
So there wasn't much to debate or like much to feel. It's like, okay, that's how you feel. Good to know where, Biden voters stand and where Trump voters stand. It just gave me like a, middle
Now,
ground to see where they're at.
was there any point in there where you were kind of just like there was points in there for me where I was just like, can you please stop speaking for all of us? Because that's not how we all feel. Did you feel that sometimes?
Honestly, unfortunately, right now, as far as which political side I'm on, I'd say I'm in the middle. Like, the Democrats aren't my favorite right now, but the Republican also aren't my favorite. They both like go on the spectrum. They both can, have wild ideas. And then some of them have normal ideas. I just, my thing was, one thing that did shock me was that the Trump supporters were more willing to, I can't remember how they phrased it, listen to what like Democrats had to say than the actual Democrats. I remember there was one girl who I can't, rationalize or agree with anything a Republican has to say.
Yeah,
and I'm
that
just
bothered me as well.
Yeah, I didn't like that. And a guy from the Republican side, he phrased it good. He's like, at the end of the day, we all want America to be, the greatest it can be. We all want America to be an amazing country. If America thrives, we thrive, and we all want what's best for it. But the problem is we just all have different views on how we're going to get there.
Right. And I feel like, honestly, we're not going to get to that type of unity if we're sitting and shutting out other people's opinions.
That's
like, we're shutting it down from jump, where you're just like, no, I will never listen to what a Republican say. Which I say, yo, kudos, like, really, props to those who are like, yeah, I would listen to what a Democrat had to say. Because, like, oh, what's going on? Okay, I think we're not doing this.
I think a lot of people are feeling like what you're feeling. Like they're kind of in the middle right now, especially with the two candidates that we do have. They're like, I don't. It's kind of like the last presidential election. They're like the lesser of two evils, but it's also like I don't know who. If I am really feeling this person, I'm not really feeling this person. So like,
get your hand out of my shot.
I'm kind of in the middle. I'm kind of in the middle of both. So I feel like a lot of people can really identify with that.
Yeah. All right, so from the top, make it drop. Sorry, I'm still not. First of all, WAP is probably the greatest song to come out in 2020. Let's all just admit that.
I don't know. As a child of the Lord, the only WAP I know is worship and praise.
So. Yes. Okay. So WAP is the greatest song to come out in 2020, in my opinion. I'm just gonna say, and anytime I get the chance, I quote that song like all the time. When someone's like, "Hey, have you seen a mop?" When I'm at work, I'm like, "A bucket and a mop." Anyways, from the top of the of that video, we're gonna talk about the Trump one because, like I said earlier, I feel like the Biden one was more just like they didn't want to vote for Trump. So their opinions are like very democratic, not Biden.
I think that it's just against Biden and against Trump. Like they acknowledge that they don't want to really vote for Biden, but Biden is the best decision because they don't want Trump to win.
Yeah.
Right. So all right. So speaking on the one of the first questions that video asked was about if Trump ever offended, or do they find anything Trump says offensive? And they go and they do their voting or whatever. And one of the girls said,
the one you were talking about, I was thinking about her too.
We were all equally bothered by this. One of the girls said that she was offended. Right, directly in the camera. She was offended when Trump made fun of the disabled gentleman. It was like, he did the thing. But then I realized through fake news that that's what he does. Just her sentence alone, like, that's what he does. So it's okay because he always makes fun of people for him to make fun of someone who's disabled. That was her logic. And honestly, throughout that video, I heard it multiple times, basically, where they kind of just like dismissed his inappropriate behavior because that's what he does.
Mm-hmm. So what I was saying was like, why do people consider what he says as epic or as a joke? Because that was also what one of the guys said. They were like, he referred to someone as something and it was pretty epic. Like, why is
he referred to Stormy Daniels as a horse face?
Yeah, and
which is like, how you can call somebody you had sex with a horse face? That's not nice.
But like, why?
That's what he's into. Maybe it's a compliment. Like the
right.
That's what he says. It's a compliment. Who doesn't want to be a horse face?
Right. Facts. I want to be a horse face.
That is a WAP. See, right? Phrase WAP.
Leave my Megan alone.
It just bothers me because like we see this so often. Like people are taking what Trump says as a joke, as comedy. We've seen it in the debate. We see it now. Like
it's just like, and that's what we did the first election with him. Is like everyone's like, this has got to be a joke. And we made light of the situation, and then boom, look at this. Look how stupid we look now. Look how dumb. You know what I'm saying? And I was definitely making jokes about both Hillary and Trump last last election, and I'm like, this has got to be a joke. There's no way that somebody's gonna vote for this non-government goofy race. Like, I was like, and then when he got elected, I was like baffled. So this time I'm just like, hey, that's not funny. Could we be a little more serious about this, you know? But yeah, so like that I don't know, that bothered me, the way she was just like, that's what he does. And it's just like, how do you okay that, right?
I feel like a lot of times his supporters are like, it doesn't apply to me. He doesn't call me a horse face. So it's fine. It's whatever, you know, that's how he is. They are dismissive of it. And I mean, like, I can understand nobody wants to be like, I'm voting for a villain. You got to rationalize it to make yourself feel better about what you're voting for. You know, that's the trade-off they're willing to make to, quote unquote, make America great again, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of people like that. A lot of people like how, like, rude he is, how, like, he's apparently not politically correct. It's a huge thing for them, you know? He says how he feels and he says his mind. Honestly, truthfully, like I said, I'm in the middle. So, like, I kind of sometimes, I like it. I like that he says his mind, you know? A lot of politicians lie. They say a lot of things, make a lot of promises that they're not going to go through with. But, like, he says it and then he goes for it. I know, I see your face, Dion. I see your face. But you know, follow me on this journey here. He said he was going to do things and he did it, you know?
And I get it, where it's like that whole like hoopla, like, oh, the president can't say that shit. What the hell, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, when Trump says stuff, you're just like, oh, I don't think you could say that. But at the same time, it's just like, no, fuck them people. Yeah, say that again. I get that. But at the same time, it's like, he is not, because he is not from government, and he's like an entertainer, businessman, he doesn't know how to speak. And that's his biggest problem, is he doesn't listen to his camp. He doesn't know how to say things correctly. So when he says stuff, he might think he's saying one thing, like all of that in that video when they're talking about the Mexican MS-13 gangs and how he was calling them animals and not all Mexican. Okay, but that's not what he said. And nowhere can you find him actually saying something different to kind of contradict everyone thinks that he called all Mexicans animals. So it's like, yeah, you need to know how to say certain things, as well as you can also be in your face type of president. Like, you don't have to be like, well, I think the best thing for Americans now. No, you can be like, yeah, fuck China if you don't like China. Like, you could say those things, which I don't agree with that, because I think China makes all of our shit. And I love you, China. Keep on making.
Oh, that's very controversial right now. China has concentration camps against the Uyghurs. Do you really love China? Do you?
I just love that they provide very good quality stuff, because all my made in America shit, fucking shit's the bed. So I'm just a little.
Ooh, your friend's controversial.
Yes. But I'm just saying, so like him being like, yeah, but at the same time, he needs to learn how to say the right thing. Like, he needs to listen to his camp. Let's just agree on that. He needs to be like, someone write my script for me.
But if you let them, like, I don't know. I sound like a Trump supporter, and I don't support anyone. I support Jesus. Let me just clarify that. I just like to be, you know, like to play the devil's advocate sometimes, you know.
That works.
Right now, at this moment in my life, I am 24, and, you know, I'm trying to figure out myself. Am I a Republican? Am I Democrat? I don't know right now. Both of them aren't really selling me on anything, so I do listen to both sides of it, you know. I've been listening to Candace Owens. She says wild things, you know. But sometimes, you know, some of the things she says make sense.
Bro, Candace.
Anyways, I just feel
like, I agree 100%. Sometimes she'd be like, you just be like, bitch, what?
but sometimes I'd be following her. I'm like, okay. And then she takes a left turn. I'm like, I'm not ready for that. That's enough for today. I'm done.
You just look at her like, yeah, that went somewhere else. I thought then, okay. But
like, if Trump changed how he's doing and stopped talking the way he's talking, like, that's what his fan base love about him. It's too late for him to change. If anything, he's gonna add more pressure, get wilder. They love it, you know.
See, that's
They're here for it. It drives them crazy.
What I was saying is like, and I'm gonna keep referring to this because this is what he says. This is what they talked about in the video. So he said that Mexicans are sending their criminals and not the good people, like as though Mexicans are being told to come to America and not fleeing from their country, and they're only sending the drugs and the violence and those type of people. So he did call all Mexicans animals, which is untrue because most of the people that are coming here are trying to leave a bad situation. So for him to say that's where I feel it was kind of like, yeah, see, that's not what you should have said. If what you meant was the criminals that come here are animals, see, there's a different way to say that. And that's what he should have said, because him saying Mexicans are animals, that incites all the people who don't like Mexicans to be like, he agrees. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm kind of like, yeah, you could be in your face while still somewhat being politically correct, which is exactly the problem is he's not, and he needs to be a little politically correct because, he's a politician now. So,
he can phrase his things better.
Yeah, that was.
I'm gonna say I like that he calls people's names or says so and so group of people are this or that. That's not good. Yeah. You're a president. You have to, interact with all different types of diplomats. I'm sure the president of Mexico isn't a fan of him calling everyone, his people, animals. Man. So that's not good.
Yeah.
But his standard is America first. So he doesn't care what the other countries think. It's what America thinks first.
And it's unfortunate because, like, I feel like America is just there's a lot of diversity in America. So really, it's hard to be like these certain people can't be American when America is literally the most diverse country. That's where it's like, that's where my issue is like, what to him is America? That's what I think some of my problem is with him is just like, well, what do you consider to be America, and what are you trying to get it back to consider it great again? And that's what I'm trying to figure out, because it's like, okay, so you're not racist. You say you're not racist. You tell us that when you made these comments, you were not. That's not what you meant. The stand by and stand down shit. That was not meant to be racist. You are not. You're telling us you don't condone the KKK and all those things. So then, what exactly are you saying? And that's the answer I'm not getting, and that's what I'm not comfortable with when it comes to him. Like, for me, like, when everyone's like, well, what about Biden in 1977 with the Criminal Act? Okay, all right. I mean, 94 with the Criminal, right? The Criminal Act wasn't him saying, okay, let's get all these niggers. No offense, sorry to everybody who's black. But he didn't say that, let's get all of them. And no, in 93, there was a shooting in California when he was a senator of Delaware, and he came up with the act to put criminals in jail. Unfortunately, for people of color, we were targeted as criminals because most of us lived in the hood, and that's where the cops went to go get the bad guys. So when that's the narrative, yeah, it looks like Biden was like, yeah, get all the black people, put them in jail. But that's not what it was. And the same thing when he was like, integrating schools is going to make it a racial jungle. No, he said, if it's not done correctly, it will become a racial jungle, which it was. It was a giant racial jungle because they didn't want black kids there. And the black kids were just like, hey, I'm trying to get an education. And it was a racial jungle. But he didn't say it like, I think black people and white people can't go to school. And that's how they flipped it, though. But you can find all of that, like, you can see that he said all of those things in a different context, and media flipped it. But when it comes to Trump, it's just like, you can't.
But do you see how you're trying to, make excuses for Biden, just like the Trump supporters make excuses for Trump?
And I've been saying it from jump when people are like, "Oh, they're both racist." Yeah, they're both racist. I agree, but I think Biden has done a better job at letting go of the racism he was brought up on, because we have to consider how old he is and how growing up for him being racist was okay. And it's not, I mean, up into the 90s, my father is white, my mom is black, and people still looked at them in the 90s like y'all are together. So really, it's really hard for me to just be like, yeah, they're both racist, when I'm like, okay, so yes, Obama was Biden's one black friend. Like that's what that was. So I'm not gonna sit there and be like, but he was vice president to a black guy. I'm not gonna do that. But I'm gonna consider like, okay, but he is, if he's doing all this, maybe this is him trying to be like, yes, I was racist in the past, but I don't see that anymore. Like people change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's my point. Is just like I'm trying to be like not on a side with the racist thing and be like, okay, Trump is definitely a racist and blah, 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 blah. Because I'm just like, well, can you prove to me that he's not? That was what I was saying. It's just like, I feel like I can find stuff behind that. And like, no matter what, Biden sniffing people is still weird. There's no way around that shit.
I don't know. I mean, like sometimes
people be smelling.
How people smell, you know? Sometimes people smell good, and if they smell good, they smell good. You got to take a double whiff to make sure.
Damn,
or maybe you're like, is it me that smells, or is it them? So you're like, you know.
Yeah, maybe this whole time we just looking at him, bro. Maybe he's just like, you could use a shower later. And you just help him out, you know?
It's a mental note, you know, stay away from Gregory. Gregory smells all the time. You know, he's informing everyone, don't come too close to Gregory. The smell you're smelling, that's Gregory, you know?
Also in the video, we saw that they brought up when Trump, you know, grabbed the female's genitalia.
No.
I was like,
I'm sorry, I'm vulgar. I have been very nice because you are a female guest, and this is new for me. I don't think we've had a female on this show.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so I'm trying.
Oh wow, I'm the first. Look at me.
Yeah, you're our first female. But I'm usually very vulgar, and I say some stuff, so that, you know.
Anyway,
I'm being good to say that.
So they were saying like it was okay because these women were a certain type of women.
They were working girls.
I wanted to know how you felt as a woman yourself, but how did you feel about them okaying it because it was a certain type of female?
I honestly didn't like that. He said what he said, and I don't think the type of woman like makes it better. At the end of the day, like regardless whether they're groupies, prostitutes, porn stars, I feel like all women deserve respect, you know? You don't say grab them by the whatevers. No, that's just rude. And at the end of the day, it wasn't locker room talk. I did understand that they were like, he wasn't a politician at the time. And, you know, sometimes guys say disgusting and vulgar things. I would have liked him to apologize, but that's not on his brand. So I know I can't expect that from him. But still, like, trying to be like, oh, it's a certain type of woman he's talking about, blah, blah, blah. No, it doesn't make it better. Like, at the end of the day, we all want the freedoms to make our life decisions and do what we want to do. If that's the choices these women made, like, I don't think we should criticize someone being disrespectful to them based on that, you know?
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. Like, having sisters, like, I wouldn't want someone to be like, oh, that's a certain type of lifestyle that they're living. Like, it's just disrespectful. And also, like, some women do that for empowerment. Like, some, not saying that they prostitute, but like some women are strippers and things like that because they value their body, and it's an empowerment thing.
I'm gonna use this shit.
It's an empowerment thing. So like, I feel like it is disrespectful to be like, it's a certain type of lifestyle, so it's different.
The message I got was they were no longer human beings because they were working girls. So it's okay to assault them in any way you want, which was like, whoa. I don't think him not being a politician, which is true, because you don't have that mindset. You're not running for office, so it's kind of like, oh, yeah. I mean, I've said some stuff. I've been walking down the street and been like, God damn that ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a politician, so it's fine for me to check out girls and say things about how their body looks because I'm not running for office, and I get that. I could be like, God damn, that ass. But what you said,
Very controversial, friend.
what you said is what makes it important. I can't go out on a platform and say that. It's locker room talk. That's what makes the difference. I can have that conversation with my coworker, with the girl walking by, but I can't go on the loudspeaker and be like, hey, everybody, I need you all to come to this area of the, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like you're muddying the water because that was like a tape that was recorded without Trump's knowledge, you know? So it was like you said, the locker room talk, you and your boys just talking about girls. That's the same thing that was happening for him. I feel like it's the attitude in general that you can talk about women like that, you know?
Stop playing, yeah.
That's the problem.
Don't talk about us like that.
Honestly, I don't know. Me and my friends, we don't. I don't know. Guys these days, you guys need to step up your game. Like, ain't nobody really doing that for us.
Sweatpants season?
Huh?
You don't talk about sweatpants season?
No, I talk about Birkin bags. That's you know, that's what's happening now.
She said it's 2020. We talk about Birkin bags.
Oh my god, that's funny. Well, listen. I have been ogled a few times, and that doesn't happen much. So please keep doing it. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I think it was just a little for the fact. I don't know, man, cause like, yeah, I know I'm controversial, like for real, but like, I feel like, damn, that ass is nice, and grab them by the pussies are two different levels, you know. So what? Yes, they are.
If they are two different levels, they're two different levels on the same scale. You know?
Yep, mine has a little less water. My scale has a little less.
Okay, but sometimes, you know, those are baby steps. I'm sure, you know, he didn't wake up one morning and was that grab them by the level, you know?
Who knows? The way I was raised, I don't think I will ever get to that level. That is not a baby step for me. I'm skipping that one. I'm going from crawling to running. In between, because I ain't finna get. First of all, I'm small. I'm gonna get punched in the face if I try to grab somebody with a vagina.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna deck me. So, anyways, let's move past this. Go back to what you were saying.
So another thing that they mentioned was that in 2020, a lot of people are getting offended by things that people are saying, and I wanted to know what the difference is like between being offended and calling someone out when they're wrong. Like, what do you think the difference is?
I feel like a lot of people don't know how to call people out when they're wrong unless they're offended. So it's kind of hard.
So like, is it wrong to be offended? Like, I don't because the way that they were making it seem like it's like, yeah, everyone gets offended during this time period. I'm like, yeah, everyone does get offended,
she said millennials' nipples get hard.
Oh my god, she did.
Yeah, I was like,
no, they don't.
But if you think about it, like you do see a lot more people getting offended by certain things.
Yeah,
and I'm like, is it that we're being offended, or is it that we're realizing that what you're saying is wrong now?
That's true too. Oh, I like that. See, but I think what the law student was saying.
The doctor.
He's not a doctor yet. He's a
medical student.
If that boy didn't say that shit so much, like we got it.
Medical school is hard. Lord, if I ever became a doctor, my mom would be hyping me up. I wouldn't even have to say anything.
He overdid it. He sold it to me. He oversold it. I want him to be my doctor. No, he's got a medical student. I want him to be my doctor. I don't care. I'm gonna be like, give me him. He's confident as shit. I know he'll fix me. But what he said when he said that is because when you're victimized, you get more attention, and I feel like there's a lot of young people that I've come across that kind of are like that, where they're just like I don't know, just they feel that way. You know, they need you to give them that attention, that reassurance, and all that stuff. So like, kind of what he said, I do agree that victimizing yourself gets you more pity and attention and all that stuff. But at the same time, it's true. I don't think it's that we're being like overly offended by things. I think it's just we're all fucking waking up and being like, that's kind of fucked up, you know, to be like, you know, like I get offended when people say, and this is God's honest truth, like I get offended when people say to me stuff about like the way that I act when I'm with my friends. Like I can act very flamboyant, and it bothers me when people say stuff, especially in front of my son, because I don't want my son to think that there's certain things for girls and certain things for boys. So I get offended when people say stuff as though I'm homosexual because I can go to gay clubs and dance with my friends and blah 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 blah. But it's just like, no, that I'm sorry, but doing those things aren't what makes someone a homosexual. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I get offended. And it's not really, I don't think that's something bad to get offended by, obviously, because you're calling me gay and I'm not. But it's like, and I'm not offended because I think something's wrong with being gay. I get offended because it's just like you're stereotyping my behavior based on the type of sex I enjoy. You know what I'm saying? So that's what offends me. And I think people are like, oh, you know, they could look at that and be like, oh, all right, that's dramatic. But like at the same time, it's kind of like, nah, it's fucked up. For all of these years, you basically been saying that a gay person is someone who does this, this, and this. And if someone does this, this, and this, that means they're gay. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of agree with what you're saying, as well as what the gentleman said in the. See, I called him a gentleman, not a law student.
I feel like, as far as like calling people out and people being quote unquote too sensitive, I feel like it's the people who are getting called out that are too sensitive. At the end of the day, nobody likes being called out.
That's true.
But certain attitudes and behaviors just aren't acceptable. That's just it. Call it political correctness or whatnot. You can't be rude and disrespectful to people and expect them to take it and be like, yeah, sure, that's fine. No.
Yeah, that's true.
Stop being so sensitive about being called out. If you agree with what you're saying, stand in your truth and don't be like, you're being so sensitive. Defend your point, give us facts, and you know, stand by it, I guess.
I can't with those people who they'll come at you, and as soon as you're just like, boom, fact, they're just like, oh, where'd you guys go? You don't want to talk no more? Like, they just disappear. But bother, I'm like, come on, this was fun. I'm bad. You're right.
No, I like debates. I love debating people. Yeah. I like to play like the devil's advocate. I will like debate you on something I don't believe. Hey, just for the fun of it. But like, you know, I like it. If you can prove me wrong, I love it. I love learning new things. But a lot of people like, they want to give you like, I feel like that, you're making me feel this way. Like, no, your feelings mean nothing, you know? Like, they don't. I'm sorry. We're all adults here, but your feelings mean nothing. Yeah. Give me facts.
Yeah, I for real. Because like, wait, I'm sorry. Do you want to keep going?
No, you can go.
Because I do, and Dee knows this too. I like to make comments sometimes on people's posts when they really bother me. Like the Black Lives Matter stuff. That stuff really bothers me when people have anything to say about it that isn't supportive of the cause. And I'm just kind of, and like, it's just like, how can you, in my opinion, it's just like, how can you have an argument that Black Lives Matter? Like, I don't understand the argument. And I'm always willing to be like, well, can you explain it? But every time they do, I always come back with, but you understand that that's not what we're saying. Like, their response is always, well, don't all lives matter? And my response is, that's not what I said. I think all lives do matter. But first, can we focus on lives that clearly don't matter to some of us? Yeah. And right, and they still have an argument, and their argument's the same. And it's just like, it's stuff like that where it's just like, those arguments are like, how do you have those arguments with people who, when you say those facts that you have, like somebody was just like, oh, of course you disagree with this. Anyone who agrees with Black Lives Matter and is a leftist, blah, blah, blah. And then we had that, and I said to them, I was like, well, no, I don't agree with the riots. I don't agree with defunding the police. I don't agree with this. I don't agree with that. So how can you sit here and say that I am wrong, that Black Lives Matter is about peaceful protests in order for you to see our cause? and all the stuff that you're seeing, which is about like 5 to 10% at the most of the Black Lives Matter is destructive, and they're the ones that are like kind of fucking up the view of what we're trying to, like, I'm telling you right now, I do support Black Lives Matter, and I've never destroyed anyone's business. So how are you going to argue to me that that is exactly what Black Lives Matter? Because if that's what that was, that would mean that me and all of my friends who support that go out every night and we riot and break shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's an opinion. Your opinion is that's what the Black Lives Matter movement is, but it's not a fact. So you can't really say that.
I agree, but I do believe like anything can be criticized. Yeah. I feel like criticism makes things better. It makes you look at things from a different point of view. Not to say I'm criticizing the Black Lives Matter or anything like that, just in general, anything can be criticized. And also, as far as arguing with people on the internet, they don't care about what you have to say. They don't care about your facts, your opinions. You're just wasting your time. You're wasting your breath. You're wasting your energy. You're stressing yourself out. Let it go.
Yeah, no, they don't care. And it's even more apparent when you're like, you have this conversation and then like a couple of hours later, they just post something else that sounds exactly like the other thing you argued about. And you're just like,
you don't care. You're not going to like teach them or change their mind.
Yeah, ridiculous. But no, but I have fun.
The last thing for me that stood out in watching the Republican part of the video was they were talking a lot about how Black people are still able to excel in the country, and they mentioned Obama and a few other Black people. And I'm like, it's true, Black people are able to excel, but I feel like they're talking about the 1%. Like, it's very like slim.
Homegirl was also talking about how she clearly doesn't understand the term privilege, because she was talking about white people being in poorer communities and all that other stuff. Yeah, that's the part you're talking about. Where she was like, where homegirl was like, no, there's white people in the trailer. That part?
I don't know if it was that part, but there was one part specifically that they were like, oh, Obama was successful. And I'm like, yeah, he was successful.
He's also half white. No offense to any I gotta put that out there sometimes.
I'm like, Obama was successful, but I feel like Obama is like the 1%. You don't see that many successful Black people.
Yeah,
I agree. You don't.
And it's and we don't know the struggle behind that. Like, granted, we don't know the struggle behind anybody's acceleration in their career, but it's just like I feel like there's probably a lot more jobs turned down to certain people because of that.
Maybe it was a part when they were talking about systematic oppression.
Yeah.
Systematic racism, because I feel like that kind of has to do with it too.
I don't know. Like, I just feel like I don't know. I don't know, because that's one of those instances where it's like, well, it kind of doesn't relate to me. So I don't know. I don't have an opinion on it, but I'm not going to sit there and argue that it's not real. Like, I won't do that aspect. Like, my job is pretty good at, diversity. So it's like, I am in a good position, and I don't feel there was ever a point where I was turned down because I'm Black. I think I was turned down because I wasn't ready for the position. And that's what it made it seem like, because they kept working with me and tried to push me, and they wanted me to move up and stuff. So like, my opinion is very hard to be given about that, because I've never experienced a struggle like with my job. You know what I'm saying? So, and like, I don't see that part of the people who are in the position of power going through the struggle, because by the time I see them, they're in their position. You know what I mean? So I don't really know what my opinion is on that. Like, I know that it's a thing. I know that there's a lot of people who do deal with it, but I just don't know how I don't know how to deliver my opinion on it because I don't have one.
As far as what you said about your job, they're doing good, it's diverse and things like that. Kudos to you. Good job. Very proud of you.
Yeah.
Just giving you props. Anyways, I feel like a lot of times, like, as far as systematic racism goes, that's a whole topic that, as far as a small section of systematic racism, like you said, you brought up your job, but sometimes there are jobs you apply for and you don't, get the job. Like they look at your name and they're like, ooh, yeah, we do not need one of those here.
Mhm.
You know? So like a lot of times it happens behind the scenes. It's not like
look at you and you have a face tattoo and they're like, ooh, we don't.
not need one of
No,
those here.
I asked this boy one time, he hasn't shut up. I said, would it be bad right here, small letters, if I put music near my ear because I make music? And he has been coming at me about face tattoos like I'm gonna put a fucking thing like Lil Wayne. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I don't know. I agree with him. Face tattoos.
No, I'm not a face tattoo. Like, I don't want nothing. Like, you see my hands. I already fucked up. This was 17, 18 years old. I don't know how to act type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
With my own tattoo machine. This is that. I regret the hands. I wish I didn't do that. That's why I didn't get into the military. But I don't want this. But I saw a tattoo here on someone. I was like, that looks pretty cool. And I was like, you know what? My sidebar. I was like, maybe it would look good. It was a question. The thing is not on me. He has been at my throat though.
He probably feels like he's trying to save you, Don't do it.
He does. I know. It's all good love, but I don't listen to him. So.
Maybe you should. He seems like he has.
I probably won't get that. But anyways, go ahead. Yeah, but yeah. No, you're right. It is. Because somebody walks in with a. All right, so not shy about this. I've mentioned this several times on the podcast. I did a domestic class before. I had to do a domestic class, and everybody in there at the table, I looked around and I'm like, wow, you would never know until the boy with the face tattoos walked in, and I was like, yeah, no, I believe that he should be here, and I judged him because he had face tattoos. But when he started talking, I was like, oh, he's so sweet, you know what I mean? So
is he?
I don't know, because I don't know him personally. Then he stopped showing up, and we started hearing some stories about him. Stopped talking before thanks me. He looks you up. Imagine this is the one episode he watches. He's like, y'all remember that kid? Yeah. And that's it. I won't be on the next episode. But nah, keep going, please. I'm sorry.
that was all that I had written.
Nah, so. Like. I was saying like I don't know how to word it. Like I feel like yes. Like the girl was like, oh, systematic racism means that there are laws in place against Black people, and I feel like maybe there's not like laws that say go arrest and kill Black people, but there are laws that kind of make it in the eyes of the cops like Black people are the people that we're supposed to arrest. I don't know how to word it correctly, but like, yeah, the law might not say go arrest Black people, but the ones who are arresting the Black people and killing them see it that way because they're like criminals, and that's in their head. Black people are criminals. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get where you're going. I feel like, we write laws, but people do have like their implicit bias on how they're going to enforce it, Right. Stop criminals. And most of the time when people think of criminals, unfortunately, due to, racism and all those fun things, mm-hmm. they think of Black people,
Yeah. And
go to where you're going to find trouble. They go to the hood and they enforce those laws harshly, and they affect minorities,
Yeah, and I think people are not getting that connection where it's like, well, yes, you think that Black people are criminals and hoodlums because you go to the hood to find them, where you keep pushing them to go live because you won't give them the same opportunity you gave somebody else. Mm-hmm. So, like, I feel like they're not seeing the vicious circle in it all.
Yeah, system, they feed into each other,
Yeah, so it's kind of like, it's like you stuck in a fucking cycle and you can't get out of it. Like, I get that part of it, but it's just like, I don't know, that that part I disagreed when she was saying that. I was like, yeah, no, they're not in the office talking about, okay, well, so this one is going to be Black people that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think they're written. And if they were written against them when they were first written 1,000 years ago, because it does take a while for them to change laws and stuff that need to be updated a little more. They need to be updated more frequently, but like, I don't think that was the intent behind it, was to get all the Black people off the street. Like I said about the criminal act, with Biden. I don't think his intent was to get all the black people out, and I think it was a criminal thing. And the they interpreted it as that because in their head, all criminals are people of color and Spanish people and immigrants and whatever else they want to consider criminals.
We were also talking a little bit about gentrification too.
That's the same thing.
And
like
yeah, that's why I brought it up, because you were talking about like the vicious cycle.
Choking in this thing. I'm still in the Halloween spirit. Like I wore this for like 2 hours with my son last night, and I was like, this is actually really comfy, so I throw it back on. It's Eeyore.
So I think we all know what it is.
Do you? Did you know?
I didn't. I just knew it was a onesie.
See, he always talks. He be coming at me, and like I just see it's Eeyore.
Oh, okay. I see it now.
The cutest. My son was wearing a Dalmatian outfit. I'm sorry. All right,
it was a Dalmatian?
Yeah, he didn't have like
a
hat or something. Go.
We were talking about gentrification, and we were saying that it can be good because it brings jobs, but also it sends people away who are living in those areas who can't afford to live in those areas, because we have these big companies who are buying out these areas and raising the rent on these people who can't afford it.
Yeah.
So it's sending them to these poorer areas where, like you guys said, cops go and they say these are where the criminals are. Yep. So it just goes back to what you guys were saying, like that vicious cycle.
Gentrification is tricky. Like you said, it does kick people out of the homes. I feel like the problem, how it affects is that, like, as far as owning property and things like that, not to overgeneralize, a lot of Black people don't own property. A lot of us, we rent and things like that. So when the prices go up, we're not getting the benefits of that. It's the homeowner who's, getting that. They increase the rent. We leave because we can't afford it. But the new tenants that come in, they're willing to pay for it. So the homeowner gets more profit. The neighborhood gets more value. That money can be fed into the school system in that area and so on and so forth. But the people who used to live there get kicked out, and they're forced, to still be in bad schools and whatnot.
Yeah,
that's
another.
So yeah, it's sad.
School just needs to be fixed in general. I just need them to fix schools, because I didn't follow what they were talking about with the school of choice. If anybody wants to fill me in,
the school of choice.
Yeah, he was like, he said something about the school of choice, and when he was like what did she say? Where you were like, what is she talking about?
Oh, I don't remember.
It wasn't like spirit or something.
Yeah, it was. She was like, how they would tell them like they can't do this, they can't do that.
Yeah, like she made her feel like shit. And he was saying something about school of choice, and I didn't know what they were talking about. I was hoping one of you guys could fill me in.
Honestly, I don't know. They didn't really elaborate that much. I do know charter schools are a huge thing right now, and there are pros and cons with that. My cousin, he goes to a really good charter school, Highlander. Loves them. The teachers are great. Oh, the teachers are great. They're really invested in his life. They really care about him. And, it's a great school, but not all charter schools are that great. And there are, some controversies involving them. Was it the like last week tonight with John Oliver, I watched his whole like segment on charter schools. And then there was this charter school where they had no building. They would just take the kids on field trips every day until someone eventually found out there's no building for this school, but it still was receiving funding. So you can like cheat the system, I guess, both ways. But also our public schools are garbage.
You want to start a charter school? Let's just go to museums and shit.
No, I heard this, like, I don't know, like if it was a statistics or whatever. I might be overgeneralizing. Don't quote me. But it's like by third grade, you can like count the success or how successful a child is going to be by third grade. And I just thought that was so sad,
By third grade?
By third grade. And it makes
my teachers probably would have told you I was going to be president of the United States. A good president of the United States.
I'd be like, they didn't say based on like what the teachers are going to say, but you can track it. And it makes sense. More successful families can invest more money in their kids, They have their kids in better schools.
That's
Have you ever heard Kylie Jenner's daughter talk?
Yes.
She's so literate. Like,
Yes.
I had a 2-year-old at my house. I love her, but I'm like, is my baby slow? Like, is that what's going on? But she went to daycare. She learned to talk. She's doing great. She's doing amazing. But like,
it's the same thing. They got money. Yeah, you're right. You got money.
Yeah, with money, you can invest in your child's education. Your child can learn different languages. If they have problems with homework, guess what? You got a tutor teaching them math. But like a single parent who's working all the time, who's going to be helping the kid with the homework? And things like that. So by 3rd grade, I mean, like, it's probably mostly involving money and financial situations, but you can tell how successful the child is going to be. Huh?
I said they don't factor everything in. Because, like, you could have all the money in the world to take care of your kid and make sure they're great, but if they got some type of mental health issues, they're probably not.
Well, that's different, though. You know.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is like they're talking specifically just about other things. Like you could have, like, they're not, like you said, they're not at like going to buy teachers or anything. They're just specifically going by like the living situation of the children type of thing,
and access to quality education too. You get a better education from private school than public school. Like, that's not debatable. Private school costs money, so you need money to send your kid to the private school.
That's right.
And then after that, you need money to help your kid excel in the private school, because they can't get left behind if they don't have the right tutors and things like that. So at the end of the day, yeah, so I guess that's my point. You need money to succeed, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I and like to that point of like what he was saying about like, yo, what the hell was we talking about? How we get from gentrification to education? Because I asked a question about what they was talking about. Because now I remember. All right, back. I interpreted it as like they have the ability to like. Because like growing up, it was kind of like the area, the district you're in, that's the school you go to type of thing. I interpreted that as in like they can go to whatever school they want, no matter where it is. And what I saw in a different video by the same people, which he still has to watch, and he'll probably send you the link too, now that I'm mentioning it. But in another video, they had said that something, mentioned it again, and another person was just like, they need to improve the school system instead of just letting you go to whatever school district you want. So I that's why I interpreted it that way. And I was just kind of agreeing, like, they do definitely need to just fix the curriculum and the school systems in general. Public schools shouldn't be a sentence for those who can't afford private school. It shouldn't. Like, I shouldn't have less of an education because of that. And I don't understand, like, what is there some special stuff that you learn in like a charter school or private school that you are not allowed to learn in public school?
It's not so much you're not allowed, you just have better curriculums, you know?
Yeah, and that's my point, is like, why are we not all, why don't we all have the same curriculum?
Public schools are underfunded, teachers have to bring their own supplies and all of these things.
And that's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be a sentence to those who can't afford. That's like the point where it's just like I get it. Catholic schools teach like Catholic stuff, so that's what makes Catholic schools different from a public school. So I get that, but it's like if you go to a private school, you're still learning algebra and geometry and social study. Like what I'm saying?
I feel like the access to what you guys were saying, like curriculum too.
Yeah,
like I said, I went to a charter school, but we only had Spanish. If you go to even just like a public school or a private school, like my sister, she went to a private school and she had like 300 different languages, 500 AP classes that you could take. Like there was a lot more options for classes. There were better classes that you were able to take.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. So like it's just like you have more options. So like more like for language, you have more options for different languages, whereas in public school you have French or Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to ESL if you already know Spanish, but that's pretty much your only options, right?
Like you have more access to AP classes.
Huh?
Yeah.
I didn't finish high school, so me knowing anything about charter schools is a little fun.
Well, charter schools are more newer, too.
Yo, he just called me old. You hear that, Loki? He just.
I don't know how old you are, so I can't get in on this debate.
I'm 29.
Ooh.
It was
Like
a while since I've
like-
been in school.
Like charter schools are something that just came more popular within like the last 5 to 10 years. I feel like.
Yeah, but private schools have been around.
Yeah, private schools. I'm talking about charter schools.
What's the difference? Please explain.
Between a charter school and a private school.
Look at me on the screen. I'm looking at you at the screen.
Yeah, I'm looking at you like like this way.
Get your hand out of my
I'm
shop.
looking at you like this way, and
Just-
then this way, like it's like
Okay.
showing me like.
Inception.
So, what were we
What's the
saying?
difference?
What's the difference between charter school and
okay.
private school?
So, charter schools are still, they still have like some public aspect to it.
I think they're funded by like the government.
Right?
Charter schools
so
are
it's
funded. No,
It's
charter
middle
schools
class.
are charter
It's middle
schools are
class.
privately funded.
Oh, okay.
So like you have to get outside funds for charter schools.
Okay.
Like you have to get donations and stuff.
Okay. And then the private schools get money straight from the parents.
Yes.
Yeah.
And public schools come
Get
from our
the
taxes.
government and yeah. Oh, everyone's moving now. Okay.
Oh, okay. What? Yeah, I was never frozen. I just sit still.
So yeah, that's the difference between the three.
Gotcha. So like I said, so public school is poor, low class, charter school middle class, private schools upper class.
Yeah. I mean, there's still charter schools that are. I wouldn't even say charter schools are poor because I feel like charter schools are still a lot more.
So
better
is
off.
last thing that I wanted to say about the video, which I thought was kind of funny, and it's a point, and is the whole mask thing. First off, before I mention this, how you feel about this whole mask thing?
Oh, wear a mask. It's fine. Like the only problem I have with it is, like sometimes I do my makeup and I'm cute, and then the mask ruins it. But I still wear a mask. I still do it.
It's so crazy because like my biggest thing is sometimes my masks don't be matching, and I'm just like, y'all don't understand. I don't like this. We're wearing
It's
that
an
blue
accessory
ad.
now.
Yeah, it's an accessory. Duh. First of all,
Just get a black mask. Black goes with everything.
word facts. I was thinking about that, but then I'd have to pay for it, and like I can get them for free.
Can you make a black double X mask for me?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Now he's making orders, but like basically, I just hate that. I hate that too. I agree with you. It'd be messing up. It would just messing everything. Also, and this is gonna go back to like that locker room talk, but this mask fishing thing is a serious crime.
I don't know what mask fishing is.
It's when you're looking at a female and all you can see is from here.
And she's like got these really nice eyes, and then she'll be like, "Yeah, so," and you're just like,
and her teeth are like.
I mean, like, if she keeps her mouth closed most of the time, it's fine. You ain't got to worry about it.
I just tell her keep the mask on. And baby, them eyes is pretty, and I like your mask. Make sure you wear your mask when you go to the store and stay home. That's not nice. That's not nice. That's really
No, it's not. I'd be like, I don't know, baby. Like, it's fine. Just, you got a good job. You probably have dental insurance. Hook her up. Get her teeth fixed.
Why are you trying to put her on my plan?
I don't know. I just feel like, invest
No,
in your woman. Everybody wants a 10, but maybe you could take a 7 and bring her to a 10,
all I'm saying,
Maybe you can do that. That's an investment.
I'm a whole 3, 4-ish if I'm lucky, depending on how I'm dressed, a 5. So I really have no place to be judging. But that's a good idea because like we can go through the whole dating phase with the mask on, because you go to restaurants, you got to wear the mask.
But you have to take off the mask to eat.
But if I fall in love enough with her personality,
Yeah, it could work.
I have to put you on my dental plan, boo, and somehow suggest you get braces without sounding like an asshole. I don't.
Is that the new level of relationship? Like,
Yeah.
It's not even chocolate and flowers anymore. It's like, yo, I'm gonna put you on my dental plan.
That's
Dion,
right.
we're getting old. We about to be off our parents' insurance. Like that's where it's at. That's the next level.
I've been
Gotta get insurance.
Yeah.
I'm talking to my boyfriend. I'm just like, so babes, when are you gonna put me on your insurance?
You said that's
My wisdom teeth are going in. So when am I gonna get on your dental plan?
that's some adult shit. You know what? I was sitting there making my insurance, and I was like, do I need this? No, yes, because I'm getting older. My eyesight's going. I do need vision. You know what I'm saying? Like this is
Yeah.
I feel like an adult now. But yeah, no, it's also not fun having to pay for your own insurance. Being on my parents' plan was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Honestly, still on my mom. I'm excited. I called her. She said the dental plan is gone because we wasn't using it. But I'm just like, my wisdom teeth wasn't growing then. It's now.
Yeah, right.
I need it now.
Oh, shit, I wasn't using it because I didn't need it then. Now I need it. Damn it. No, but what I was gonna say is I found it funny in the video. There's a longer version where it's like, should Trump or Biden win, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or should either of them be president? Whatever it was. But someone said something about how they don't like wearing masks because it infringes on their rights. And then the other guy spoke up and he was like, yeah, but you have speed limits and this law, so now you're gonna cut off your limitations to having to wear a mask, which is a safety precaution. And I found that really funny because I don't think people actually look at it like they're like, we're in a free country, yes, but it's not free for all. We still have laws and regulations in place, and now you're getting upset because someone's like, hey, so we don't all die, I need you to wear a mask. That's where you draw the line. Like that, right?
I don't know why it's even a question. Like it's even a debate because it's a matter of health.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't want to catch the virus,
right? I'm not
wear the mask.
Like I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that if there was a vaccine that we all need to get it, because I don't like vaccines.
I don't know if I take it. It feels like it's rolling out too quickly, you know?
First of all, yeah. And also, if Trump tells me, never mind, I'm not going to say that. But no. No.
Wait, no, go ahead. You're already on the streak right now. I think we should have like a counter
no.
of like how much.
I feel like you think I'm going to say something that I'm not. I was going to say, if Trump is giving whatever the fuck they gave him when he had COVID, load her up. Because that man was in and out the hospital like that.
You probably don't get the discounted version. You ain't got Trump's insurance.
That man said he's immune to it now. And I said, I'm sorry, what? did you test that theory? Just go into a field of COVID and just like what? Nah, but like, yeah, no. So I'm not a fan of like doing that. So like I wouldn't sit there and be like, yeah, go get vaccinated, go get your flu shot. You have to. But it's like a mask, literally. And this is coming from a person with freaking asthma who has to wear it through their entire shift. Wearing a mask, it causes you no harm. So what is the problem with just putting the damn thing on?
Honestly,
it don't.
My thing with the mask, I feel like I love it because, you know, before you had to smell people who had bad breath. Now they can smell their breath. They can see what they've been doing to us all these years, you know? That's what makes me happy. I'm just like, yes, your breath has been kicking for years, and now you get to see what we're going through.
Facts. And
maybe that's why they're fighting it so much.
Maybe. But you think that them smelling their own breath would do something? It doesn't.
It probably doesn't.
I can still smell it through the mask, and I still be like, ooh, 6 feet. Why are you still getting?
No, I try to be nice. I'm breathe over my shoulders, say what I have to say, and turn back. So, you know, that's what I do. I try to be nice about it, but, you know, or I just avoid you.
I just be like, damn, my breath stinks today. I'm going to go get some gum.
Yes, it really be letting you know. Like, I put on the mask, and I'm just like, today is not a day to go out. You know, go back inside. You don't need to talk to people.
No, babe, today's not a makeout day. I'm sorry.
But my breath stays cute and fresh, so like I don't even bother.
Well, I mean, you know, some days I'm at work and I go to lunch and then I have something and I decide, oh, I'm gonna eat something with fucking garlic. that was a mistake because now I gotta put this damn mask on and all I'm doing is
Smell like garlic all day.
all day. I'm just burping. I'm just like, oh god, oh my goodness. Oh, good thing I got this mask on. I'm saving all these customers. Oh yeah, no. So that was the only thing I was gonna say is I just found it funny that yeah, there are people who argue and like that it infringes on their rights, and it's just like there's a lot of shit that infringes in your rights that you are not complaining about. But
well, the state I'm in, it's kind of optional at some places. Mm-hmm. It's really wild. Some places you just go around, people just start wearing it. Other places you have to wear it. Well, I haven't seen anybody freaking out per se over it. I'm like, it should just be it is what it is type of situation. Wear the mask or order online, you know? You ain't got to go to the store.
Facts. I think that if somebody comes to my business and expects some type of service from me, if I say, hey, do you mind putting on your mask? Put on your fucking mask. Don't start a fight. You want me to help you, but I'm asking you to do something to help me. So I'm here every day and I have to deal with a ton of people. Can you just do me the simple favor of being one less person I have to worry about? Put on your mask so I can help you. Because if not, I'm gonna just walk away. Because I'm not gonna risk myself I'm not gonna say what my job is because, you know, I'm trying to be private. But like the risk isn't worth it. I don't need to help you with your minor problem if you can't do the simplest task of putting on your mask when I ask you to. It's different if somebody like it would be different if like I'm helping you and I don't say nothing, blah 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 blah. And we're both sitting there like, oh, this is stupid, and I put mine down. That's different. But if I get asked for help and then mask is down here and I'm just, hey, do you mind? Like that happened to me. I was helping someone I didn't even realize because like when I'm by myself, I take it off so I can just work. So I didn't even realize that it was still down when the customer came up to me. God damn it, it's okay. I can say customer, whatever. But like came up to me and I started started helping him and he was like, hey, do you mind just putting your mask on? And I was like, oh, I was like, my bad. I didn't even realize. I didn't have I can get in trouble for not having this shit on while I'm helping you. So it's like I was like, my bad, and I put it up. You know what I'm saying? It's a courtesy thing. Like, why are you gonna argue with me when I'm just simply saying, hey man, protect me, the nigga helping you. Like, you want my help or you want me to die? Like, I won't be here in 2 weeks if you sneeze on me wrong. So yeah. Well, I'm not gonna. I meant like not die. I meant like I'll be home because they won't let me go to work. That's what I meant. Got dark. All right, go ahead. That's it? For what I had. Is there anything else you would like to?
Well, you guys can follow me at Instagram at blah, blah, blah. It's Facebook, blah, blah, blah. And, Snapchat, blah, blah, blah. But most importantly, my Cash App is.
Yeah. Wait a minute. He said my Cash App is. Well, what's the Cash App? Because I'm.
Ooh, blessings from everywhere.
I'm not saying me. I'm Poe. But like, I'm just saying. Remember how I said people are different. You don't know. Somebody might be like, oh, okay, I like her. If I pay her, will she be back on the episode?
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? You never know. Don't drop
That's so true. But honestly, like if I'm like gonna be back, I want people to like me. I don't want people to think because they pay me, I have to say what they want,
That's true.
Can't start my political career like that,
Yeah, we don't want no recordings coming back to you saying the wrong shit.
Thank you for watching this Q-Tip and the Short Guy special. If you liked this video, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell. And also, listen to our podcast on all podcast streaming platforms. You can also follow our Instagram. It will be at the end of this video. Also, stay tuned for any other Q-Tip and the Short Guy episodes. We have a few more specials coming out for you guys, as well as season 2 coming out in January. So I will see you guys then.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything.